So let's go ahead and look at some examples. So I've gone ahead and written out each of the functions, the f function, the g function, and the h function, what it would look like if you're substituting in a function into their x spot. So like for f, 5x minus 2, where that x is, you would put parentheses. So 5 parentheses minus 2. G, negative 2x plus 8 would be negative 2 parentheses plus 8. And h would be 6 minus parentheses because it's 6 minus x. So I think that might help as we go down and look at these. So if we look at A, we want f of g. So we want to start with that f function, and we're plugging the g function into it. So the f function, the shell we would use is 5x minus 2. So this would be 5 instead of x, parentheses, minus 2. And what are you substituting in there? The whole g function, which is 6 minus x. And then we just simplify from there. So let's distribute the 5 in. So this becomes 30. 5 times negative x is negative 5x, that minus 2. And then you guys can combine the 30 minus 2. So this becomes 28 minus 5x. So we just simplify to get our answer there. So if we look at letter B, g of f. So this is not, we just did f of g. This is g of f. They are different. So this one, we start with the g function and we plug f into it. So starting with the g, we would start with negative 2x plus 8. So we would start with negative 2 parentheses plus 8. And then in those parentheses, we're putting the entire f function, which is 5x minus 2. Simplify from there. So distribute the negative 2 in. So we would get negative 10x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4, plus that 8 on the end there. So the only thing you guys could combine here would be the 4 and the 8 to give you guys 12. So this would equal negative 10x, or simplify to negative 10x plus 12. So if there's no number inside those parentheses, we're just simplifying the like terms after we've substituted it in. So how about letter C? We're doing h of f of x. So we're going to start with h, which is 6 minus x. So 6 minus parentheses. And what are we plugging in that spot or substituting in there? The whole f function, which is 5x minus 2. So that negative is like a negative 1 or a minus 1 is what's going to get multiplied or distributed in there. So this will become 6 minus 5x, and then negative 1 times negative 2 will be plus 2. So after you've done that distribution, you guys can combine the 6 and the 2. So 6 plus 2 will be 8 minus 5x. So let's do D. It's a little strange, but you can put a function inside itself, essentially, I guess, if you want to call it that. So we can find g of g. We're going to start with the g function as the original. So we're going to start with negative 2, parentheses plus 8, negative 2x plus 8. And what are we going to put in those parentheses? Well, we're going to put the g function in there. So we're going to put itself inside itself. So negative 2x plus 8 will go inside there. And then you just simplify from there. So distribute the negative 2 in. So negative 2 times negative 2 will be 4x. Negative 2 times 8 is negative or minus 16. That plus 8 is just hanging out there. And then you can combine the negative 16 and the 8 together to get you a minus 8. So this whole thing simplifies to 4x minus 8. Okay, so when there is a number, so that's E, F, and H there, you still do the same process. It's just that when we simplify it, we should have a single value, like this equals this number. But we still start with the outside function, so we still are going to start with F and plug the G function into it. So we're going to start with the F function, which is 5x minus 2. So 5 parentheses minus 2, and we are plugging the G function into that. So negative 2x plus 8. So now where that x is, you're actually going to put the x value that it wants you to plug in. So you're going to plug in negative 4. So this whole thing becomes 5 in parentheses negative 2 times 4 plus 8 minus 2. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And then negative 8 plus 8 is actually 0. So we get 0 times 5, which is 0 minus 2. So this whole thing simplifies to just be negative 2. How about letter F? It wants h of f of 3. So we're going to start with the h function. So 6 minus x, so parentheses there. And in those parentheses, we're putting the f function. So 5x minus 2. And we're just going to substitute the value in. So this whole thing becomes now 6 minus 5 times 3 minus 2. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. So 6 minus 13. This whole thing simplifies to negative 7. So why don't you guys try G and H? So G, you're going to start with that f function and plug h into it. Letter H, you're going to start with the G function. But go ahead and give those last two a try.